click on it, they're going to go to. There's something about, like I said, about walking up to it and clicking it, and then reading it, and then walking over to a different one and clicking it. And the great thing about it is they can launch anything. They can launch a web page, they can launch a video, they can launch a song. But most of all, they're doing the research when I want them to do the research. A couple of my students in the video mentioned iBooks, and this is going to change the way we teach. I mean, more than any other app, more than any other thing with the iPad, the idea of iBooks. Now, traditional textbooks, I always use the example of I graduated high school in 1990. I had a social studies textbook that talked about the Berlin Wall and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. 1 year later, that textbook was out of date. Right? When you iBooks author, it allows you to kind of create your own customized textbook, and it allows you to update that textbook, which is the really good part. So as the world changes, your textbook can change. Why would you want to buy a textbook from a company that says, okay, this is what you should be teaching? When you're in the class, it's your class. You should be designing the textbook. And iBooks Author allows you to do that. So it's perfect for anthologies. Let's say that I want to teach my students about the literary element of irony. I can find 5 short stories that all kind of feature irony in them. I can put them into one iBook, and then I can send that to my students. They can download it from my website. And they've got a textbook that meets exactly their need. You can make it media rich. It's interactive. They can annotate the book. And I'm a firm believer that students, when they can actually, we don't want to give a student a hard copy of the book and have them write in it, because now that book is useless to us. We don't want that back. This allows them to annotate in their iBook. It allows them to take notes. They can look up definitions right on the spot. Again, I'll show you an example of it, but we're running out of time here. Pro boards. This is a web-based tool. It's incredible. It allows you to kind of create your own message board for your students. So I've moved away from giving traditional homework. I'll have my students do a reading. This is one of my classes. We were reading Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And instead of having them go home and just answer questions on a worksheet, every night I tell them go home and go to the pro board. There'll be a question up there. So let's say here's chapters 7 and 8. Here's the question. You'll see I kind of pose a question to them as the author and the administrator, and then they begin to respond to the question. The really cool part about this is, let me see if I can find one here. Right here. Is when they begin to respond to each other. They're not just responding to my question anymore. They're actually reading what their classmates have posted and agreeing and disagreeing with it and explaining why. It basically turns into an online Socratic seminar. It's not me, again, as I said before, my belief is that I shouldn't be up there lecturing to them. My opinion of the best class are the classes where I barely talk. It's where they're talking to each other. That's a good class. This allows them to do that through their homework. Easy to set up, it's free. There's plenty of rubrics out there for threaded discussions. If you just look up rubrics for threaded discussion, you'll find a ton of them. So how you can kind of grade them. And like I said, it creates that kind of online Socratic seminar. One of the apps that the device comes with is iCalendar.